Yes, yes. Uh, uh, yes. This is the Hot Minutia. Welcome back to the Hot Minutia. My name is Barry Long II, not the first, not the third. We are live on CoachellaValley.com. We're live on today's California.com. We're live on today's Canada.com. We're all over the metaverse, all over the Twitterverse, all over the universe. Let me bring in my main man, Rudy Ramon Reyes, with his Pittsburgh Pirates.
Sorry, my bad. You got me caught up in the moment. I'm still enjoying the
Hot
music in my
Minutia.
head.
And let's tell people what minutia means, because a lot of people have been asking me, what does minutia mean?
Ongoing understanding of what the smallest of details actually mean and
the minute details, right?
What you're talking to, minuscule, minor,
the intricacies.
We're talking about the minute components, the ones that really matter, the ones that we think don't, but they really do.
They really do. And let's talk about some stuff today. What we're gonna get into. And please comment. We already got Bill Senso commenting in. He says, "Happy Friday, Barry and Rudy. We love you, Bill. We appreciate you." So let's talk about some stuff that we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Tiger Woods. You were all hype and you were a prisoner of the moment yesterday. You think Tiger Woods?
The cut.
And he made the cut. And we saw DeChambeau missed the cut, Spieth missed the cut, Schauffele missed the cut. A lot of the top Americans missed the cut, but we have Tiger Woods in there, and Scheffler's winning. And I picked Scheffler. If you remember yesterday, I said Scheffler was my pick to win it all. And shout out to me. Also, we're gonna talk a little bit about MLB opening day 2, and we're gonna talk about Russell Westbrook, who's reportedly drawing trade interest from the Charlotte Hornets. So without any further ado, let's jump into Tiger Woods. We got another comment. Lisa Garcia says, "Hey." Sandy Reyes says, "It is a great show so far." Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Getting right into
We're just getting right up to it. Let's talk. Well, let's talk about Tiger Woods before we get into anything further. We got the leaderboard right there for the Masters, and Tiger Woods was yesterday tied for 9th, tied for 10th. He is now tied for 17th. And I told you yesterday that I believe that Tiger Woods he's going to play well. I mean, and you can see his first 9 holes. You can see all the birdies, and you can see how successful he was on that day. And Bill Senso talked about it yesterday, that Tiger Woods, the real test was going to be able to see when he plays today after spending 5+ hours out there on the golf course yesterday. And he wasn't as sharp as he was yesterday, but he certainly played a good round, and he's still in contention. When Tiger Woods is number 17, which he is right now, he might as well be in the top 10, because Tiger Woods can easily turn it on Saturdays, and we all know what Tiger Woods is capable of doing on Sunday. So I don't want to say that I'm ruling Tiger Woods out completely, but I do not believe that Tiger Woods is going to win the Masters this season. I think that we're all prisoners of the moment. We all are just hopefully wishing. We're hopeless romantics when it comes to golf. We want Tiger Woods to increase the ratings. We want him to win, just like he did in 2019 when he came back out of nowhere. He comes back and he wins. And
that's what Tiger does.
And that's what he does. That's what he's done in the past. But I beg to differ that right now, I look pretty good right now with my pick. And people always hate on my golf skills, my golf analysis. But at the end of the day, I picked Scheffler to be up there right where he's at, and Tiger Woods to not win. And right now he's in the 19th spot, or 17th spot. What do you say, Rudy, about Tiger? Are you still on the bandwagon?
Put the Tiger A down, okay? Just put it down. You got too much hate for the great Tiger Woods. He's made the cut. May not have started off as well with bogeys and things, and a lot of miscues and problems holding on to it. He listens to his caddy, I think, a little too much. But one thing about Tiger Woods is if he's there, he's always in it. As we talked about yesterday, he's in it to win it. That's exactly what Tiger Woods is doing right now. So he's at the 19th spot. Makes no difference. The fact is that bottom line, at the end of the day, he's a year removed for a near death experience in a major car accident to even be playing right now. He's very thankful for, and I guarantee this, by tomorrow, he's going to jump up in that leaderboard. I'm not going to give spots. I'm not going to say he's going to win the whole enchilada, but I know this. If you're going to have enchiladas, make sure it's green sauce, because red stuff is bad for you. He's going to be near the top. He's going to be in the top 5 by the end of Sunday. Mark my words.
So you're picking him to be not to win it. You're just picking him to be in the top 5 at the end of it.
It would, it wouldn't be surprising to me whatsoever to see Tiger Woods actually win it. Now, yeah, you picked your guy. Kudos to you.
Shout out to me.
Yeah, shout out to you. But at the end of the day, this is not over.
It's not over. It really isn't. And you said green enchilada sauce. Well, Tiger wears his red shirts. If you watch the Tiger Woods movie, his mom said, Tiger, wear your red shirt today, Tiger. That is the power of the elephant. And when he wears red, he ends up putting green jackets on top of that red shirt or whatever he's going to wear. So expect him.
Santa's helper.
He came out in the hot pink.
Helper.
He came out like the fuchsia or the hot pink or whatever it was yesterday. Came out looking good today. But I expect him to wear red on Sunday, and I expect him to finish in the top 10. But top 5, I feel like we're pushing it a little too much. And you're right. He came back from a tragic accident, something that could have not only ended his career, but also ended his quality of life that he had right now. And he wouldn't be out there playing with Charlie Woods, his son, and he wouldn't be out there right now at the Masters. So I'm happy for him. You and I have both been through traumatic accidents. I went through a car rollover. The car rolled over 5 times, and I walked away with a lacerated spleen. You went through a tragic accident, and you walked away with what?
A lot of internal issues.
Yes.
A lot of internal problems.
Including a lacerated spleen?
Hospital. I had a lacerated spleen and potentially life-threatening components like kidney and liver problems, which now I have varices, esophageal varices, which is very bad for you. It's a very bad situation. You can bleed out and then you can die. So for him to come back and play golf, there's no way you'll find me at the Masters unless I'm on the other side of the green road watching everybody else hit and say 4, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be on the other end. I'm not going to even play caddy. I don't know the first thing about golf, like I said. So, well, hey, Lisa, thank you for the shout out. Scotty Scheffler played really well. I mean, really well. He missed almost nothing. He came up with almost a hole in one on one of his last shots. And then you look at Lowry, Matsuyama, who won it last year, Schwartzel, Eam is in it, Na is in it.
Yes.
But you see a lot of guys struggle. Kopka struggled. DeChambeau struggle. I mean, everybody
didn't make the cut. DeChambeau
ended up not making the cut. Now, mind you, DeChambeau's a guy who's always in the mix. He's not in the mix, but Tiger Woods is. So that must tell you something.
Well, and what I would like to say also is that the surge that we've seen in Americans the last few years are all the result of Tiger Woods, the Tiger Woods effect. And they're hitting the balls further than they ever have before, because before Tiger entered the PGA Tour, you didn't have guys hitting it as far as he was and he has in the past. But now you've got guys like Bryson DeChambeau who can really, really lay into that ball. And anybody who knows anything about golf, it is so hard to get an ace, a hole in one. And when you do, it's probably once in your lifetime, and most people will never, ever be able to accomplish that. But for my man Scotty Scheffler to almost do that at the Masters at Augusta, shout out to him and shout out to me for picking him. And he is in the leaderboard. He's the leader right now of the leaderboard. So we will continue to follow this. And of course, we will update you guys on Monday with whether or not Rudy is correct in his synopsis of Tiger Woods finishing in the top 5. I believe he'll finish in the top 10, but he's not going to win. And we wish Tiger Woods the best. And if he wins it, I'll be the first one to eat crow, and I'll be the first one to be happy.
Eat that tie. I'll send you some green sauce while you're at
it. Absolutely. Hopefully, man, if he wins, he gets to pick the dinner. And we know how controversial his picks of the dinner have been in the past. We heard Sergio Garcia, one of the PGA pros, the veterans, say that if Tiger wins, we're going to have fried chicken. I can tell you right now, if I win the Masters, we're having fried chicken. All right, so let's move on. Shout out to Tiger Woods, but let's move on to before we get to baseball, because baseball opening day part 2 has happened. But we are both Laker fans, and we are both disappointed that the Lakers have not made the playoffs, not made the play-in tournament. And a major part of that reason is Russell Westbrook and his inability to adapt to the style in which LeBron James plays, his inability to stop turning the ball over, to stop making bad decisions. And he has had his worst season as a pro with the Lakers. And we thought that when they went out and traded for Russell Westbrook, got rid of Kuzma, we thought, and KCP and Montrezl Harrell, we thought that this would be a championship move. And we thought that finally Russell Westbrook would be able to play alongside somebody with the caliber of Kevin Durant, which he played with in Oklahoma City. Even more higher caliber than James Harden, which he played with in Houston. And we thought LeBron James would be able to ingratiate him, and they would be able to at least contend for a championship. They are not even in the playoffs at the 11th seed right now currently, and it's just been a debacle. It's just been a discombobulated debacle this season. And Russell Westbrook has played on 4 different teams the last 4 seasons, and it has just been a hot mess. That's the only way I can describe it. But right now, he is drawing interest reportedly from the Charlotte Hornets. Michael Jordan is interested in bringing in Russell Westbrook, and I feel like it's a bad move if the Charlotte Hornets do that. And the Charlotte Hornets have made bad moves since the Bobcats. Since Michael Jordan has became the owner of the team, it has been a hot mess, just like Russell Westbrook's last couple of years. He's played on 4 different teams the last 4 seasons, and it's just he had a little bit of success in Washington. He had a little bit of success in Oklahoma City. We remember before he left Oklahoma City, he was once the MVP, putting up triple doubles night in and night out. He should change his number from 0 to 32 because he was a walking triple double. but we haven't seen that Russell Westbrook since then, and he's just been deteriorating, and he's been on a decline for the past few seasons. And I feel like if you put him alongside a budding superstar in LaMelo Ball, who is a point guard. He's a traditional point guard. He has been able to play alongside Terry Rozier, who can easily play the 2. And LaMelo Ball can easily play the 2 as well because he shoots the 3-point ball at a high level. But he is a playmaker, much like his brother, Lonzo. He is the main facilitator on that team. And I feel like if you bring in Russell Westbrook, we know how ball dominant Russell is. Russell Westbrook will inhibit the growth and the potential that LaMelo Ball has, and I feel like it'll just be a bad move for the Charlotte Hornets. They're accustomed to making bad moves. They went out and got Gordon Hayward, paid him a bunch of money. They've done a lot of things. And Michael Jordan has a reputation for not knowing how to put together an NBA roster. I know he was great with the Bulls, but just because you were great as a player does not translate to the front office, and it hasn't for Michael Jordan.
Well,
he's failed miserably
across the board. You can say that across the board.
But I don't think Russell Westbrook is a good fit for them. Even though LaMelo could play the 2 and Russell could play the 1, I feel like Russell Westbrook is 2 ball dominant, and he will restrict LaMelo Ball's potential. What do you say?
You know, I look at Russell Westbrook, and he was so promising. At one point, I really enjoyed watching him in the Oklahoma City Thunder system. But since then, he's had more of an up and down type of career, nothing overly consistent. He's been able to hit the 3, except for when he puts on the purple and gold. And then all of a sudden he forgets where the rim is. And that's where everybody calls him Westbrook instead of Westbrook. So it really makes you wonder where this guy's career is going to go. Now, as far as stunning growth in with Charlotte Hornets, okay, fine. Back in the day, mom said, you know what, don't drink coffee is going to stunt your growth. Not necessarily true, because we know that does not happen. But what does happen is time and time again, Michael Jordan, again, as you stated, Barry, as great of a player that he is, not the best owner, not the best decision-making process. He has had a gambling problem in the past, amongst other things. I take nothing away from Michael Jordan's greatness on the court, but from a businessman perspective, from picking the right players, from trying to be a head coach once, just failed miserably, to be quite honest with you. And when I look at someone like a Michael Jordan, or I look at a Jeannie Buss, who clearly doesn't know how to run the Lakers organization, at least that's what we've seen in this past season, clearly indicates that Russell Westbrook at the 1, not a great idea with LaMelo. I just think this is a bad move. You send him somewhere else. You send him somewhere where he can actually be maybe a role player in a team that is in dire need of services. And I don't know, Russell Westbrook's services are all that great, especially nowadays.
A role player, though?
Well, hold on a second. Let's think about this. In the last 2 games with the Thunder and the Warriors, he's put up absolutely nothing and didn't play. And then you look against the Suns, he had 34 minutes and 28 points. It's not as if he's lighting up the screen, okay? He's not able to hit those 3-point shots, even though he wants to take them. And we've seen them time and time again when LeBron James was out. Of course, AD's always out. He's always out to lunch because he hasn't figured out whether he wants to stay or whether he wants to go. This Lakers team, from a different perspective, is blaming injuries as a part of the whole demise, which is nothing but an excuse. It starts with Jeannie Buss. It goes down to Rob Pelinka, and then you blame a little bit on LeBron James because he wanted these guys there. So he has to accept the blame in some capacity, in some manner. And I don't care what kind of smell goods you put on a pile of horse manure, it's still horse manure. It really doesn't matter what.
Are you calling Russell Westbrook horse manure?
I'm talking about his play.
Okay, he's played terribly this season.
Absolutely,
but let me just react to your role players. We are the Hot Minutia. I am Barry Long II. He is Rudy Reyes. We are live on CoachellaValley.com, today'scalifornia.com, and today'scanada.com. So I just want to say, I understand that Russell Westbrook has played terribly this season. And if you look at the last 4 teams that he's played on the last 4 seasons, you can clearly see that he's played on franchises that are not comparable to the Los Angeles Lakers. He's not been in the spotlight. When you play for LA, you play for New York, you're going to have the media asking you every single night, why did you have 10 turnovers? Why did you have 8 turnovers? Mm-hmm. Why did you not score in the fourth quarter? And he's feeling the pressure. And it's kind of upsetting and disappointing because Russell Westbrook is an LA native and he grew up rooting for the Lakers. And you want to see a guy play for his hometown team and play at a high level, or at least play comparable to the level that he's played at other places, and he just hasn't. And it's disappointing. But what I feel like is that when he plays in a smaller market like Washington, and Washington D.C. is a big city, but it's a smaller market when it comes to the NBA. And if he plays in a smaller market like Oklahoma City, he has a chance to shine. He's playing with all role players, if not G League players, and he's able to shine. And if he does have 8, 9, 10 turnovers, it's not that glaring because it's not on such a big stage. So I feel like Russell Westbrook should get shipped off somewhere like Indiana, like the Indiana Pacers, the Sacramento Kings, and he'll put up triple doubles because he won't have very much help, and he'll go back to being Russell Westbrook. And I feel like at this point of his career, if he can't win it with LeBron James, can't even get into the playoffs with LeBron James, then I feel like we are going to be looking back at Russell Westbrook's career, and we are going to always say that he was unable to win a championship, much like a Charles Barkley. What say you? You think that he'll ever get to a championship team and be on the championship roster? No,
absolutely not. Here's why. He doesn't put the time in. We talked about AD not putting the time in, not putting enough time into the recovery process. He's not putting the time in to become a sharpshooter, to become that number one guy on the court you can rely on. The minute you give him the ball, you think to yourself, okay, well, that's going in, if not close. Do we have the offensive formation to allow somebody to get inside of the paint in order to make sure that ball goes down and get that rebound, if not kick it out for a 3 or at least a 2, something other than a vacant house, because right now the brick is drying. And the way that he's shooting it and the type of guy and mentality that he has, he doesn't see any reason to really work on any of his craft whatsoever. That's why he's still horrible. And I hate to think that a guy who's an LA native, okay, may or may not have anything to do with it, can actually play on the court with somebody like LeBron James. Now, don't forget, LeBron James is a guy who's almost 40 years old. He's creeping on the 40 door. He's going to be knocking on it within the next couple of years. And he's going to be right behind a guy in Russell Westbrook, who's 33 years of age. So when it's all said and done, look, he earns all the money he wants. He can get all the endorsements that he wants. Not that I know that he has any, at least to my understanding.
Not in LA. Even AD got endorsements when he came to LA. Even with that unibrow. And I said, before we got AD, I said I would love to have what AD brings to the table as far as defensively, protecting the rim, as far as offensively being able to step out and shoot or drive. He's gotten his body right. He's finally able to take on, the responsibility of playing the 4 or the 5. And I hope he brings all those assets and skill sets to the Lakers. The one thing I hope he does not bring is that damn unibrow. And he brought the unibrow, and he still got endorsements. My man is on a bag of Ruffles chips. Okay. Yeah. Russell Westbrook came to LA And even with his fashion line, he's got an endorsement with Hennessy, but it just didn't materialize like other superstars when they came to LA, like Shaq, it just didn't do it. LeBron
Kareem,
James came out here and
Magic.
got Space Jam.
Yeah, well, he did. And not only that, but he's spaced out right about now, wondering why his team and the team that he's on is finding themselves in a very horrible situation now that they're ousted from any type of playoff contention. LeBron James will not play the remaining 2 games on the Lakers schedule.
Which is terrible.
No. I told you this is going to happen. We already had this conversation, and he ended up shutting it down, and that's exactly what happened. AD should be shipped out, if not probably packing his bags and waiting for the green light in the last 2 games that he may not be playing in. Russell Westbrook fighting for some type of career reel so he can send it and have an outstanding game to get him shipped off somewhere else. If it's Charlotte, then so be it. At least he's not in the purple and gold anymore. I can tell you that right now. Furthermore, when you look at AD, is that price a little too steep to pay? I'm on the fence when it comes to what they're going to ask for him. Our team's going to trust his ability to actually do something when and if he gets on the court. He's turning into another Ben Simmons. Oh, I need a physical health day. I need a mental health day.
Ben Simmons?
That's right, because
Anthony
he hasn't
Davis
been on
has
the
a
he hasn't played
championship.
for half of the season. It doesn't matter. If the best ability is availability, and AD has played in less than half of the games this season. Ben Simmons, you're right, has played absolutely none. But there's one difference between Ben Simmons and AD. Well, actually, no, there is none. They have.
Oh my God!
There is none.
That one is left-handed and one is right-handed. That's the only difference. Is that what you're saying?
One leads with his left, the other one leads with his right. I mean,
I beg to differ. I think Anthony Davis is a unique talent, and I understand that Ben Simmons has just as much ability to defend as Anthony Davis, protect the rim, go out there on the perimeter and defend. But
he's protecting the bench.
Skill sets are way different. And Anthony Davis, although he's been injury prone, although he has not taken care of his body, I still believe that Anthony Davis is a tier above Ben Simmons simply because he's got it done.
Yeah, somewhere else. All
right, we are live on CoachellaValley.com, today'scalifornia.com. We are live on today'scanada.com. We got some comments. We got Lisa Garcia. She says, hey. Bill Sitso says, happy Friday, Barry and Rudy.
Happy
Sandy
Friday,
Reyes says, it's a great show so far. We appreciate that. Isla Denise says, absolutely nothing. Rodolfo Flores said nothing, but he bounced back. He said, hello, how are you? With your comments from the city of Mexico. He's in Mexico City. And he said, friends do a little of atmosphere and jokes, make it a fun, happy night. So we are having fun. We are having a lot of fun right here on the Hot Minutia. My name is Barry Long II. He is Rudy Ramon Reyes. We had opening day part 2. It was exciting. Opening day. It was
exciting for some, unless you're the New York Mets.
The New York Mets. All right, so the New York Mets, they are a team that is struggling. Go ahead and let's go through these scores real quick, Rudy.
Sure, absolutely. New York Mets right now are leading 6-3. Texas just down 1 against Toronto. This is still an amazing game right about now, by the way. Could go into extras depending on what Texas does in their next at bat. Houston down against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Try to say that 10 times fast. San Diego 0-0. Boston 5 and New York Yankees 6. Interesting side note that a major league slugger decided to turn down over $200 million guaranteed money. And we all know who that is. I think that's greedy, just saying. Yeah. So a lot of things going on. But anyway, as I was stating, New York Mets and Washington decided to clear the benches because of a hit ball. And
we have a clip of that. So Francisco Lindor was up at bat, and we all know how unique of a talent Francisco Lindor is. He has been amazing for the Cleveland Indians, now the Guardians. And he got a big deal to go over to New York and play with the Mets. But we've seen players before get hit in the face with these 100-mile-per-hour fastballs. Anything over 85. I played baseball at a very high level in high school. And anything over 80 it could kill you. I mean, anything over 75 could kill you. And you've got guys throwing, 100 miles per hour, 105, some guys. But we saw this today, and Francisco Lindor is up to bat. He gets hit in the head with a 88-mile-per-hour pitch. And here's the clip.
This is a fluid bullpen.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Oh, no.
First of all, I just want to point out that why does my man have blue cotton candy for
we
hair?
Talked about how this was a really tense game yesterday. And
my man has blue cotton candy for hair. I'm pretty sure that.
Maybe he spent too much time at the circus over the.
But let's watch it one more time.
It's a fluid bullpen.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Oh no.
And see, these are the type of incidents in sports that really, really could kill somebody.
Walters immediately out. We talked about
you see Buck Showalter, really who is one of the most respected managers in the game. You see him reacting.
On the field. Dugouts have cleared.
And the bench is clear.
Coming out now. 3 Mets hit by a pitch yesterday against the Nationals.
Man, he needs to change that.
Dave had cleared the air. They know that they're trying to find a grip on these new baseballs, and it's just really tough. But you've got to start.
And you heard the commentator right there, the color commentator, say that they're really trying to find a grip on these new baseballs because they seemingly change the baseballs every single year. Ever since Rob Manfred has become the commissioner, every year the seams are either tighter or the ball is actually slippier. It is just a crazy thing. But what I will say about this is that we hope the best. We wish the best for Francisco Lindor. When you get hit in the head with any kind of object, especially an 88-mile-per-hour baseball pitch, it's life-threatening. And he seems to be okay. It seems to hit his flap, but it's just one of those things where you got to prayers up. And baseball has a lot of different interesting intricacies and minutiae to the game where you got foul balls that could easily be line drives that could hit a fan, and they've had to put and implement the fact that they need to put those nets out and extend them all the way to the foul poles. And most Major League Baseball parks have already done that, if not working on it right now. But you also have to. I also noticed this about the clip is that these baseball fights are just like ridiculous. Like it's just a bunch of swaying back and forth. It's both teams run out and nobody's throwing punches. Nobody's really upset. Nobody wants to fight. It's a bunch of, hey, hold me back, and you've got this happening a lot. What are your thoughts on Francisco Lindor?
Well, first of all, I've had concussions, so there's no way that you can
as I have too.
As anybody could really convince me that didn't hurt in some manner, in some fashion. And of course, a lot of testosterone, throwing that stuff around. Reminds me of watching Chips last night as one of the movies I was watching. And
you watched Chips? Okay. I had chips last night.
Oh, as long as they were a snack and not for dinner. But hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he's good to go. But this so early in the season, anything like this, you're hitting someone's family member essentially. I mean, you spend a lot of time talking to them, hanging around them, their family. You're in the locker room, you're in the dugout. You spend a lot of time with each individual player, and you're playing over 100 games in any given season. Unlike when the Dodgers won in a very cut and short season. But anyway,
don't hate on my Dodgers. Don't hate on the Dodgers.
I'm not hating. I actually watched the entire series. By the way,
I did too. I watched every pitch.
I watched,
and I've watched every pitch since like 2000, and I died. I cried. I picked up the phone and cried to multiple people on the phone when the Dodgers won the World Series. So don't hate on it. Don't try to minimize our World Series. But go ahead.
I am not minimizing it. I'm just saying from a shortened season standpoint, they won. The Lakers had a mitigated season also. They had a bubble championship. But you know, a championship is a championship. A win is a win. The only thing that gets asterisked is when you're talking about the Astros. Which they faced a lot of boos yesterday. Okay, Astros starts with an A, ends with an S. Take your pick. So it's really about injuring a family member when those pitches are felt by anybody in front of the plate or in any outfield or infield situation. So I wish the best for him whatsoever. I want to talk about something real quick because I think this is kind of a dueling. Maybe it's a too soon type of thing, but there's some front runners for MVP. Yeah, I know. Put the pencil away. Put down the eraser.
Really?
Put down
For
the paper. Put it back in the printer. Christian Yelich with the Brewers.
You know what you're doing right now? You're being like Walgreens or Walmart. You're putting out Halloween candy and Halloween
during
apparel.
Easter time. That's right.
Yeah, like after the 4th of July. Like,
hey, if you're not ready, you may as well be dead. So Joey Gallo for the Yankees. Ranger Suarez for the Phillies. and you have Dylan Cease for the White Sox, Brandon Bell for the Giants. You have a laundry list of guys who have the potential of being the too early MVP votee. And of course, none of those in any given order. The season just started, so let's just put the panic button away, shall we? Can we just look at this for what it really is? This is a long season. Baseball is not for the meek. It's not for the shorthanded. It's for those that understand this is not a skip. This is a run, and it's a run to a pennant. So this is there's a lot of time. None of these teams are ready to talk about a pennant race, a pennant win, anything of that nature. They just need to get through the grind, and once they do, hopefully find themselves in the postseason and winning a pennant and calling it a day.
Well, on Monday we will start to break down each division. We'll start with the National League, and we'll start with your division, and we'll go on to the American League. Each day we'll break down all 4 teams or 5 teams in each division, and we will we'll really dive deep into these rosters and dive deep into the pitching rotations, because I like a lot of different teams. Coming out of the National League, I like a lot of different teams coming out of the American League. I think this is one of the seasons where it really is a toss-up, and baseball's been like that. You see, like the Atlanta Braves last year, nobody picked the Atlanta Braves before the season started, but as the season progressed, and after they lost Acuna, it was like it's over. But the season progressed, and they had guys like Rosario step up. They had just Freddie Freeman stepping up. The pitching rotation started stepping up. The bullpen was lights out when it counted the most. So baseball has been like that. We had the Kansas City Royals win, about 10 years ago, and it was just such a shocking result. So every single year, baseball, I feel like, has the most different variables when it comes to who's going to eventually hoist that World Series trophy at the end of the season. So we're going to break it down, and we're going to make some bold predictions. Next Friday, we're going to make our prediction of who's going to win the World Series. And by then, we'll have the rosters, or the standings won't look like 1-0, 1-1. They'll be like 6-0. They'll be like 5-1, and we'll be able to tell.
Put the meat on the bone. Just put the meat on the bone.
There's some meat on the bone.
Ham it up. Ham it up.
All right,
that's right.
All right. Real quick. So it is Friday, but we always do the meme of the day. And Rudy, you actually sent me this meme, and I died laughing. I love this because Will Smith. Before we play it, Will Smith he's received a 10-year ban from the Oscars. I was about to say the Grammys. From the Oscars, he won an Oscar, and he has not banned from winning another Oscar, but he is banned from attending any Oscar events. He's also been kicked out of the Oscar Writers Guild or the Oscar fraternity or whatever it is. But this is what you sent me from Josiah Johnson. He says Will Smith trying to get parole from his Oscars ban. and
shout out to Josiah Johnson.
yeah. And really, like, do you think that they'll ever lift the ban? I mean, 10 years, he could have gotten banned for life. And
he could have easily gotten banned for life. Look at Pete Rose.
Yeah, okay.
Pete
But
Rose,
all right.
banned for life.
Will Smith committed an egregious act. And when it first happened, initially, everybody was like shocked and everybody was talking about it. But I feel like every couple days, people started more and more waking up and realizing, man, Will Smith, he's an a-hole for doing that. And it's one thing to do that to some up-and-coming comic, even if it's Pete Davidson. But you don't do that to Chris freaking Rock. Chris Rock is a legend. And I'll tell you right now, we're in the Coachella Valley. Chris Rock is actually performing tonight in the Coachella Valley. And his tickets were, at first they were $75. But once he got smacked from Will Smith, now they're $280-something. So Chris Rock, although he did look like a punk to a lot of people, and he didn't go back at
price.
Yeah, Will Smith is actually suffering the consequences, and we see Chris Rock actually making more money off this. So shout out to Chris Rock.
Good deal. Good for him.
Yeah, but I love this. I love this meme. Shout out to Josiah Johnson. And shout out to everybody who commented on the show. Real quick, let them know where they can find you at, Rudy.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Love the comments. Like it, love it, share it. We like that kind of thing. You can find me on Twitter at RudDogReyes. You can go to LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. May as well find the poster board with my name on it or my face for both.
Hopefully one day it'll be a billboard. You can find me on Facebook. The same way it's written right there, Barry Long, space II. You can also find me on Twitter at Radio Barry Long or Instagram at BarryLong_2. Remember, y'all stay focused, stay motivated, stay inspired. And remember, you're capable of doing anything. So go out and freaking do it.
Get
We'll talk to y'all. Get her done. We'll talk to y'all Monday. Peace.